Okay, I was finna, never mind. I was finna be like, yo, what if you like fucking a Saiyan and you know, say her tail wiggling in your face, you just grab that motherfucker? Like, do she get like, like, do she get horny or some shit? But no, it's incapacitating, paralyzing, disruptive pain. Okay, maybe she into that. Hold up, they Saiyans. I don't know. I don't know. Yo, YouTube, what's up, man? So look, we got another drop from Wallace. Actually, well, it's not really a drop. It's kind of an older video. Your life as a Dragon Ball Saiyan. Now, I don't know what universe Saiyans are from for him to have to put Dragon Ball Saiyan. That kind of, I don't know. But let's see, bro. Let's just see what happens if you're, you know what I'm saying, stronger than a Viltrumite. Let's.
You open your eyes for the very first time, not in a crib, but in an incubation pod. Congratulations, you've just been born on planet Vegeta, home world of the Saiyans.
Nice.
But you're not a baby. You're actually around 3 years old. As you look around, you see more pods with other children inside them. Some doctors come by to measure your power level, and you don't know it yet, but thanks to that number...
Damn, a nigga got abs already, bro? You baby, what the fuck? Broly ain't had no goddamn abs in the Broly movie when that, man, hold up, bro.
Your whole life has already been...
Hold up. 1,204 power level? That ain't bad for a fucking baby, bro.
Started. Your life might sound like it's just starting, but in many ways, the best days of your life have already passed. You'll be raised in isolation from your parents. Here, there's no family gathered to celebrate your arrival in this world. Instead, as soon as you are born, you're placed in a controlled incubator alongside dozens of other newborns. When you were in the chamber, your parents would come to visit from time to time. But in Saiyan culture, the concept of family is something more of an asset than an emotional bond. Saiyans think of attachment as a weakness that could compromise a warrior's effectiveness in battle. Things like love, affection, and the desire to protect your child.
And they low-key kind of retconned that in the Broly movie, bro, because Bardock actually kind of loved Gine a little bit. In the original series, Gine was in the original one, right? With the original Bardock? Because I don't remember Gine being in it, but she had to be in it.
Are considered dangerous sentiments that might make you hesitate when you should be striking without mercy. While your parents may be there as you grow, don't expect them to show any kind of affection. Your childhood is a training into a warrior culture, and you'll do it completely alone. You were put in an incubator until your body could resist the conditions of the planet. Combat training begins.
Oh yeah, Planet Vegeta has 10 times gravity on that motherfucker. I forgot about that.
Almost as soon as you can walk. You're thrown into situations where you have to fight or be killed. This has an impact on your mind, and it's exactly...
I ain't gonna lie, as a kid, I always wanted like the Saiyan armor. Like, I always thought Vegeta's armor was so fucking cool with the fucking shoulder pads and shit, bro. I always wanted one. I never got one, though. I gotta buy that shit someday.
What the system wants. You learn that violence is normal, and that your value as a person depends on your ability to kill others. Training is hard, and it's designed to break anyone who can't survive it. If you're too weak to handle the training, then you're too weak to be a warrior, and the Saiyan race is better off without you. If someone dies on training, you don't see it as something tragic. Instead, you just continue with the program, learning that weakness is fatal and that nobody is coming to save you if you can't save yourself. But at least you're lucky, because if you were one of the weaker children, you'd be sent on a mission earlier where your training would be trying to survive while you fight on another planet. You grow up in a culture where you only have comrades instead of friends. You might train and fight alongside someone for years, but you don't know much about them. The only thing you know is that everyone has the same desire as you, to fight. Because your whole culture is all about being a warrior. And
really, that's all you need, to be honest. Like, as long as we got something in common, bro, you know what I'm saying? We chilling at that point. You like to fight? Shit, I like to fight too, nigga. Like, you know what I'm square, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like,
warrior that dominates other species. You and everyone else on the planet grow with a huge sense of pride. The Saiyans have a hierarchy of power that rules their society. Your power level is 1200. Which puts you in the category of a low-class warrior, just like the majority of the same population. But your category is more than just a title. Your power level determines where you can go, what you can do, who you can associate with, and what your life will look like.
Damn.
At the very top are the super elite, which are known as the royal family. There's only one family in this category, and they all have a power level of above 10,000. Then you have the mid-class warriors, those whose power levels...
Wait, I thought it went like super elite, mid-class, and low class. I thought that was like an elite, like that's where Napa is and shit.
Falls somewhere between 1,500 and 8,000. You have to be extremely lucky to be in this power level. In fact, there are only about 10 of these in the entire Saiyan race.
And you only need 10 of them to kill all the Viltrumites. Ain't that some crazy shit, bruh?
Warriors get assigned to more significant missions than you ever will. They have better living quarters, and they're generally treated with a baseline level of respect that low-class Saiyans like you will never experience. They're still disposable in the grand scheme of things, but they're disposable in a way that at least acknowledges they had some value. And then there's you, stuck in the low-class designation with thousands of other Saiyans whose power levels mark them as expendable military equipment. But at least you're considered something. In this system, children with a power level below 1,000 can't even try. These children aren't worth the resources it would take to train them. So these low-power babies are designated as infiltration babies, placed in space pods while still infants, and launched towards distant planets, identified as weak enough for them to conquer on their own. The baby lands on the planet, hopefully survives the initial landing, grows up wild and isolated, and eventually exterminates the native population. Once the planet is cleared, the now adult Saiyan signals for pickup, and the world... Man, you have to think about that shit, bro? Think about it like this, right? You know how Goku hit his head on that rock and it changed him into a good guy? This nigga done got fucking hit on his head mad times since then, bro. And ain't none of them motherfuckers changed him back evil. Like, he never went back to being Kakarot, you feel me? I feel like that would be a fire-ass story to tell, bro. Like, maybe Vegeta's off-world somewhere doing some Universe 6 shit, and then he come back to see Kakarot is doing some crazy shit. It's like, Kakarot, what you doing, bro? And Kakarot like, oh shit, Prince Vegeta, what's up, nigga? Hey, look, we gotta get this planet ready for Frieza type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how he would know that. Maybe he would still have his memories. I don't know. But, like, that shit would be a fire thing. Like, Kakarot versus Vegeta. Like, the real Kakarot. That shit would be a fire story element. Is sold on the galactic market. The infiltration baby program has an extremely high mortality rate. Most of these children die. Many arrive on planets that turn out to be way more dangerous than anticipated. Some may fail to access their Saiyan strength quickly enough, or pods malfunction, causing them to perish in the vacuum of space. Some become feral, their Saiyan instincts twisted by complete isolation into something that's neither fully Saiyan nor fully integrated into their adopted world. They
What? Do I not know some lore? Do we have a story about that? What the fuck? Since when did that happen? It didn't happen to Broly.
live and die alone.
It didn't happen to Kakarot. It didn't happen to Tarble. What the fuck? Tarble out here fucking oval bit, fucking these motherfuckers. Hey, that fucking onion head bitch and your son Goku and his friends return. Hey, that's who Tarble out here putting dick in, nigga.
Without a name. Your power level of 1200 saved you from this fate. But that doesn't mean you'll have a normal life. Elite Saiyans don't associate with low-class warriors unless absolutely necessary. Mid-class warriors might acknowledge your existence if you're serving on the same mission, but they're not going to treat you as an equal. Your entire social world...
See, look, this would be me if I was a Saiyan, right? I'd be a low-class Saiyan, and then, bruh, I will fucking grind, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I would use the 10 times gravity. A Planet Vegeta, nigga, I start make myself durable as hell. You feel me? I start training this shit, but I go crazy, nigga.
Consists of other.
I'll be a mid-class Saiyan before they even know it, nigga. Like in 5 days, Zenkai boosts and shit.
Saiyans, people who are just as trapped in this system as you are. All of you bonded by shared insignificance rather than any genuine connection. The worst part is that it'll never change. Saiyans can rarely increase their power level. Every mission that you're sent on will match your power level. So you will never face a real challenge that'll make you stronger. Even if you train extremely hard during the missions, it'll still be the same.
Okay, well shit on me then, nigga. It felt like he was talking directly to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that shit felt a little bit directed right there. Wallace, what the hell?
The rare exception to this rule is so unusual that it becomes legendary. But even then, the social stigma of being born low class never fully disappears. You can get stronger, but you can never quite escape where you started. While you train to become a warrior, the physical burden of being a Saiyan hits you every moment of every day. Starting with the simple fact of the planet's gravity. At 10 times the gravitational force of most habitable planets, your home planet is like a training ground that never stops challenging your body. Even with your years in the incubation chamber to prepare your body, your muscles, bones, and cardiovascular system are all under constant strain. Every movement requires more effort than it would elsewhere. Standing upright is harder, walking is harder, even breathing becomes a challenge. Your body adapts.
And think about it. I want you to think about this. Every single Saiyan, even the non-warriors, are fucking walking around upright, doing they fucking daily tag, whether they cutting meat like Gine was or fixing space pods. All them niggas are withstanding 10 times gravity, bro. I'm just saying, bro. Even the non-combative Saiyans, Viltrumites can't. I'm sorry, bro. Everybody keeps saying that Viltrumites can be Saiyans. They can't. I'm just gonna take a shot every time I can. I ain't gonna lie.
This with high muscle density. Your muscles are more compact and powerful than those of most other species, allowing you to move freely in such a harsh environment. But this advantage doesn't come without a cost. The metabolism required to maintain such dense, powerful muscles is absolutely brutal. Your body burns through calories at a rate that would be considered impossible in most species. You need to eat constantly, consuming quantities of...
And see, that's why they got the meat markets right there. Why they put all the food in some dirt. I don't understand that. But yeah, that's why they got the meat markets, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everybody doing their thing, bro. It's a whole sucker. I ain't gonna lie. The Saiyan Empire was fire, bro. Frieza's just a paranoid bitch. Like, he really could have took over the universe of these Saiyans.
Food that would seem absurd to anyone watching. A normal meal for you might contain enough calories to feed a family of humans for...
Yo, low-key think about this, right? Not on some pervy shit. This is the first time I've ever seen some titties on a female that Wallace drew. That's kind of crazy. But, oh, no, I was finna say, Frieza low-key made the Saiyan stronger by destroying Planet Vegeta. Yeah. Because think about it. 50 times multiplier. You know what? Let's do some math real quick. Alright. So we know that Frieza confirmed had a power level in his first form of 530,000. That was Frieza's power level in his first form. And it said that Saiyans, the super elite, have a power level of 12,000, right? Or over 10,000. I think King Vegeta was like 12,000. So we'll do 12,000 times 50. Okay. Okay, no, yeah, Frieza would have been cooked. Yeah. Unless Frieza transforms into his second form fast as hell, if they blitz that nigga, Frieza is cooked. Like if King Vegeta, like let's just say Vegeta stayed on Planet Vegeta, right? King Vegeta and Vegeta, they trained to become Super Saiyans, right? If them niggas would have jumped, if they would have did a father-son Gallic gun at Frieza's ship, they would have killed that nigga. I was gonna be like, yo, that's clearly not 530,000. Like, Frieza still, you know, he would have been stronger than that. I was gonna make that whole point. Fuck what I was finna say. Like, okay, shit. Alright, there we go. Yeah, Frieza had it right, I guess.
And even then, you'll still be hungry again in a couple hours. In practical terms, this means that an enemy capable of cutting off your food supply has found your critical weakness. That means that prolonged battles in environments where food is scarce becomes your worst enemy. Your greatest physical advantages are inseparable from a vulnerability that can be exploited by anyone who understands your biology.
I'm just saying, that's really not a problem if you're a strong Saiyan. Think about it, right? All the fights in Dragon Ball, or at least I know the fights after Dragon Ball, like everything Dragon Ball Z Super, they all happen at light speed or not faster. Because Akira Toriyama said they all happen fast as shit, but it's slow. They have to slow it down so that we can see. And proof, the tournament power was 48 fucking minutes, bro. That shit was 48 minutes. A weird time. I don't know why they didn't just make it like an even hour or something. But it was 48 minutes. So whenever we was watching the first episode of the Tournament of Power, niggas was already throwing down them little 25 minutes. We was watching that bitch tournament halfway over. Within the next hour, the tournament was over, cooked, done. Everybody fights at light speed in that bitch. I'm just saying, bro, them fights not lasting long enough for you to get hungry, nigga. They get hungry afterwards.
On the outside, your body is basically the same as a human, but with a tail that extends from the base of your spine. It helps with your equilibrium.
I mean, we got that too, don't we? So I swear we ain't had tails like whenever we was like cheering that shit.
But it's also another advantage that feels more like a weakness. Your tail.
Yeah, this is their main weakness right here. If I were to say all the old Saiyans' weakness is the tail. Like, that's why they wrapped it around themselves so nobody can just go in and just grab their little shit. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Is actually quite sensitive, and when grabbed or squeezed, it causes immediate incapacitating pain.
Yo, oh, okay, never mind. I was finna be like, yo, what if you like fucking a Saiyan and you know what I'm saying, her tail wiggling in your face, you just grab that motherfucker, like, do she get like do she get horny or some shit? But no, it's incapacitating, paralyzing, disruptive pain. Okay. Maybe she into that. Hold up, they Saiyans. I don't know. Gine could be a very freaky girl. You know what I'm saying?
While completely shutting down your access to power. An enemy who manages to get hold of your tail can reduce you from a fearsome warrior to a helpless victim in seconds. You'd think evolution would...
And you know the crazy part? I love that no one that watches Invincible watches Dragon Ball, because I've never seen this argument yet. And the thing is, if you bring it up, niggas say they know what you're gonna go for. And it's not like the Viltrumites know. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they know. And the thing is, Viltrumites can't infiltrate Saiyan society, bro. They don't have tails. Niggas gonna be like, hey! That nigga ain't got no tail! Ain't gonna beat his ass, bruh.
Have eliminated such an obvious weakness, but the tail persists because it's necessary for accessing one of your greatest powers, the Great Ape Transformation. This transformation is a biological ability that provides enormous power at the cost of a potential loss of control. When you're exposed to sufficient reflected sunlight from a moon, your body begins a violent transformation. Your size multiplies, brown fur covers your body, your teeth and nails become enormous fangs and claws, and your power level increases by 10. For someone with your power level of 1200, that means jumping to 12,000. A massive boost that makes you capable of destroying much more powerful opponents. But here's the thing about the Great Ape form. You're not really in control. Low-class Saiyans like you typically lose all consciousness and rational thought during the transformation. You become a berserker, a mindless monster that attacks everything in sight, regardless of whether it's a friend or foe. If you transform, you could kill your enemies, but also other Saiyans. Elite Saiyans can sometimes maintain consciousness with specialized training. But for the rest of the Saiyans like you, the full moon is a threat rather than an opportunity. Even so, low-class warriors have their tails removed permanently after a transformation goes wrong, accepting the loss of that potential power in exchange for never having to worry about becoming an uncontrollable monster again. When you're around 11 years old, you're sent to your first mission to conquer a planet along with other survivors of the training. When you arrive, you notice that your body and everything around you feels lighter. You're faster and can carry tons of weight easily. Because of your training and the gravity, you're stronger on other planets. You're confident that you could take everyone on the planet on your own. But you learn your first lesson. The Saiyan race is one of the strongest, but that doesn't mean that the others are weak. You and your comrades
That's a fact.
the majority of life on the planet, but you end up hurt, tired, and lose your consciousness. You wake up in a recovery chamber on your planet, but you notice something different. Your body has another unusual property, the Zenkai boost.
Yeah!
To increase your power level after recovering from near fatal injuries. The more severe the damage, the greater the power increase. It's an adaptation that makes perfect sense for a warrior species. Every battle that doesn't kill you makes you stronger, creating a population that grows more powerful through surviving combat. But the mechanism has a dark side that shapes how Saiyans approach training and combat. You think that the optimal path to power isn't through disciplined practice or technique refinement. It's through getting hurt. Badly. and repeatedly. The Zenkai boost rewards self-destruction, so you start to see value in injuries that bring you close to the edge of death, because you know that if you survive, recovery will only make you stronger. You begin to seek out fights against opponents who are more powerful than you are, not because you're confident in their ability to win.
Oh, and you know what's crazy? Vegeta said it himself. The Zenkai boost that they get now, because they're, gods and shit, it's not as effective as it used to be. But Goku and Vegeta still love fighting. So the Zenkai boost is like a in the back of the head, like, I don't know, like, how do I explain it? It's like a subconscious thing.
But because you want to be more powerful, you even orchestrate your own near deaths. Having allies or medical staff hurt you to the edge of dying before healing you, creating artificial Zenkai boosts. Over time, you develop a strange relationship with your own mortality. Death becomes less frightening, not because you're brave.
And I'm gonna be honest, bro. Think about this. You remember whenever Vegeta asked Krillin to blast that nigga through the fucking stomach in Dragon Ball Z? How the fuck did he survive that for that long to ask Dende to heal him? The nigga didn't have no stomach. Nigga didn't have no spine, but he was fucking walking. How? Like, I understand Saiyans, they muscles is dense as fuck, so maybe they don't even need bones sometimes. But like, the nigga, he had a hole in him, bro. You can see straight through the nigga. He ain't had no stomach, he had no organs. The nigga was bleeding from his bike. He had no spine. How the fuck was he walking? That shit makes no sense to me. I just thought about that.
But because you've been conditioned to see it as just a failure state in a gamble you're taking for power gains. But the worst part is, the Zenkai boost becomes less and less efficient with time. After a certain point, the boosts become less significant. All that suffering, all those near-death experiences, eventually stop providing meaningful gains. But by then, the damage to your psychology is already done. You continue to grow in power and survive more missions until you reach the peak of your youth around 20 years old. Saiyans stay looking the same until they're around 80 years old. So you'll stay like this almost until you die. However, because you're now in your prime, it's time to have children. You want to breed great warriors, so you look for a woman who possesses strong character, which would in turn better your chance to have powerful sons. But Saiyan culture isn't just emotionally cold. It's actively designed to prevent emotional bonds. Relationships exist primarily as transactional agreements. Partnerships form for reproduction purposes, specifically to produce strong children who can carry on the warrior legacy. Sometimes these relationships have political dimensions, establishing alliances between families or factions. But the idea of choosing a partner because of love or happiness isn't something you can expect. You have a son, but just like you, he will grow without you. Even though he's still your son and you want to teach him to be a great warrior, the Saiyan lifestyle is not designed for that. Like the other Saiyan warriors, you'll spend the majority of your time on remote conquest missions, traveling alone or with small squads to distant planets. These assignments last months or years, during which you have essentially no contact with anyone you could care about. When you finally return to planet Vegeta, it's usually just long enough to report your success, receive new orders, maybe produce another child, and then you're gone again. The concept of building a life with some—
Bro, imagine that shit, bro. You get back from a fucking 6-month escapade, fucking getting this planet ready to sell. You come back, alright, the planet ready, sir. I'm finna go fuck something real quick and head right back into space. Nigga turn around and fucking dipset, bro.
One is impossible when you're constantly being deployed to opposite ends of the galaxy. It would be extremely unusual for a mother to show care for their child. The rare Saiyan woman who expresses worry about their child or tries to maintain some kind of connection is often viewed as suspicious. This kind of behavior is seen as a softness, almost like an infection that could spread if not contained. Most Saiyan children grow up not knowing their fathers at all. They might be aware that a particular warrior is their biological parent, but there's no relationship there. Brothers might be aware of each other's existence, but never actually meet or fight side by side. Titles like grandparents, cousins, aunts, and uncles only exist as technical genetic words. There's no family gatherings, no shared traditions, no sense of belonging to something larger than yourself.
Fucked up,
You are fundamentally alone. surrounded by other Saiyans who are also alone and think that this isolation is actually strength. You're expecting a child, but the reality is that you'll never get to meet it. You get sent to worlds that are considered beneath the attention of elite fighters. Places where the indigenous population is weak enough that even a Saiyan with relatively modest power can eventually conquer. The missions are long, often lasting months or years, and they're undertaken with minimal support. If you succeed, you might get a brief acknowledgement before being shipped off to your next assignment. If you fail, nobody is coming to rescue you. You'll just be marked as a failure and sent the next low-class warrior to finish what you started. But the truth about your life as a Saiyan warrior is that you're not really a warrior at all. You're a slave.
Yup.
Saiyans
Talk
don't
about
work for
that.
themselves.
Talk
They
about
don't find
that.
planets for their own benefit, or even for the benefit of their king. They do it for the one above the king, and the one who has the Saiyan under his control, Frieza. The power imbalance is so extreme that resistance is impossible. The King of Saiyans, the strongest Saiyan alive, has a power level of around 10,000, but Frieza has a power level exceeding 530,000.
Yeah.
He's more than 50 times stronger than the strongest Saiyan. Even the entire
Oh, I was gonna say, well, no, he's not because we just did the math. But yeah, in the other forms, yeah, he is.
Saiyan population fighting together in perfect coordination couldn't defeat him. He conquered the Saiyans because he could eliminate your entire species without effort, and everyone knows it. You're ordered to go to specific planets, kill everyone living there, and prepare the planet to be sold on the galactic market. Frieza gets the profit, and you get to survive another day. Your job is to kill them all. Every man, woman, and child. Destroy their cities, eradicate their culture, eliminate any trace that
What the
they
fuck
ever
you think they
existed.
was doing with them planets, bro? Now I'm curious. What was they doing with them planets after you sell them? And I wonder if Frieza still does that shit now that he got revived. I don't know.
Then you wait around to confirm that the genocide is complete.
Yo, you wanna know what would be a cool ass story, bruh? If we saw some shit from Frieza's perspective, like now he's back alive and shit, he goes to these fucking bars, these fucking meetings and shit, and he sits down with other emperors of the universe, and he talks like, okay, I got this planet for sale, I got 2 more, they coming, I got these people working on them, let's talk business. Like, you know what I'm saying? That would be fire.
Before signaling that the planet is ready for its new owners. Some Saiyans cope with this by convincing themselves that the species they're exterminating is somehow lesser. Others simply just stop thinking about the moral implications at all, and start treating it like any other job. But you can't completely suppress the reality of what you're doing. You're murdering entire civilizations for someone else's profit. You're not a warrior engaged in honorable combat. You're an exterminator, so real estate can be sold. And the only reason you keep doing it is because refusing means your own death, and possibly the death of every other Saiyan. During one of these missions, while you were eating, another warrior whispers something to you. He tells you about an old legend, something his squad leader told him years ago, who heard it from a veteran who claimed to have heard it from someone even older. The legend of the Super Saiyan. According to the story, once every 1,000 years,
Why the Super Saiyan got a receding hairline?
a warrior of unmatched power appears. A Super Saiyan whose strength surpasses anything previously known. It's whispered about with a mixture of relevance and desperation among low-class warriors like you, because the Super Saiyan represents hope that maybe, someday, a Saiyan might come to challenge beings like Frieza. But the story is not more than a legend. No Super Saiyan has appeared in living memory. No one you know has ever met anyone who actually witnessed a Super Saiyan transformation. But true or not, the legend has become so big that it reached Frieza's ear. And that changes everything. Frieza's paranoia about the Super Saiyan legend isn't just a fear. It becomes an obsession. Not of what the Saiyans are now, but of what they might become. You start noticing changes in how Frieza's forces treat Saiyans. Missions become more dangerous, with less support. Elite warriors are sent to more almost suicidal missions. Even just the idea that Saiyans could produce a warrior capable of threatening him is enough for Frieza to be afraid. The Super Saiyan story is still just a story. The only thing you can do is continue conquering other planets for Frieza, or die. So you go mission after mission for years until one day you get ordered to return home immediately. All Saiyan warriors are called back to planet.
Bruh, they should have put like some cool ass shit like Order 66 or something like that. Like to this mission or to this like recalling. That should have been dope.
Vegeta for new assignments. You finish whatever genocide you were in the middle of, board your attack pod, and
see a nigga like me, bruh, I'll be late to that motherfucker. I see the fireball going at the planet. I'll be like, man, this can't be Planet Vegeta. I'm a shit. Hey, and another thing, why do you think Frieza didn't just kill all the Saiyans and then sell their planet? Would that have not been a smarter business move? I guess it would have been quicker to just kill all the Saiyans and the planet, but I think it would have been, you know, a little bit smarter business-wise to just kill all the Saiyans.
make your journey home. When you arrive in orbit, you see dozens of other pods converging on the planet. You begin your descent, thinking about what the new missions might be. You land on the surface and report to the command center along with hundreds of other warriors. The officials tell you to wait until the king arrives. So you wait and go to eat something. But you'll never find out what the new orders are. You look through the window and see it. A massive ball of energy that looks like a second sun. You have maybe 2 seconds to understand what's happening before the ball of energy makes contact with the planet's surface. The ground beneath your feet cracks and heaves. Heat washes over you in a wave that vaporizes the warriors closest to the impact point. The atmosphere ignites and the planet's crust tears itself apart. You try to fly and escape, but the explosion is faster than your reaction. In those final moments when your body begins to disintegrate, you understand what's really happening. Frieza.
You hear a nigga like Bardock say, EVERYTHING! That's exactly what you hear, bro.
Has ended the threat. The Super Saiyan legend that gave your people a hope has instead triggered your extinction. In less than 1 minute, you're dying along with your planet and your entire race. Your life doesn't flash before your eyes because there's nothing worth seeing. No loving family or meaningful moments. Just training.
That nigga Wallace be drawing bad bitches now. What the fuck?
Missions and the constant reminder of serving a master who saw you as disposable. That is your last moment. The Saiyan race ends not with a battle, but with an execution. And you die knowing that everything you did was for nothing.
Hey, these endings always be sad as fuck. Like, I'm always dying or something. Like I don't never survive shit. The only one I think we survived was fucking the werewolf one. We just became a fucking dire werewolf forever and just went into the woods to go bite niggas. Like, that was the only one we survived. Like, that's the one I want to be forever. But look, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, bro. Send this video to your grandma, nigga.